okay. 82 and 6.
Got it?
Yeah. Oh, then my brother. Are we recording? It's live?
Yeah. You got the scriptures now? You good?
We should be good. I go off this.
Alright. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, as always, want to start by giving our praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rekah, Kudash. A double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let Akim out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, and also you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line of your lineage goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, and Seminole Indian, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And Shalom. It's your brothers from the GMS Denver camp coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua with another video. And this time we're going to go into some scriptures according to a point that was made when the bros in UK had an encounter with Vocab Malone this past weekend. And Vocab made a point of how we think we're gods and how we think that we were there with the Messiah in the beginning, creating everything. And that's true. That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because the children of Israel, the sons of the Most High, we are gods. Point blank period. And this is the condition that we're in the process of being returned to. You see that? He tried to make light of it because at the end of the day, Vocab don't actually believe in the Bible, man. He was talking about, oh, we're here for the context. You're not here for the context of the scriptures. Because if you were, you would be following and adhering to the doctrine that we give here at Great Millstone, which is the doctrine of the Most High. You're not here for the context. You're here to continue to further plantation Christian dogma, man, that has nothing to do with the scriptures. So let's get into what the scriptures actually say. Let's get that Psalms.
Yep. And then if I could say real quick, because the others always have lately, they've been bringing it out how, you know, like the brother said, Vocab is not, you know, he's not, he doesn't believe in the Bible. Because it's in Matthew where it talks about how, you know, you shake the dust off your feet when you give this knowledge to somebody. If they can't receive it, you shake the dust off and you move on. So what is Vocab doing? You know, he's supposed to move on. That's what we do. We're not going to sit there and keep nagging at you. If you can't receive the knowledge and the truth, we're moving on from you.
That's it.
This is Psalm 82 and 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men.
So this is what it is, man. We are the sons of God. We are the children of the Most High, but we die like men. Why? Because of sin. Mm-hmm. Because we're in these wicked bodies that can't even come close to the perfection the Most High requires us to be in as His children. This is why we die. You see that? It causes us to sin, like Apostle Paul tells us in Hebrews chapter 7, O sinful man that I am, who shall deliver me from this body of death, man? This is why we die, because we're in these fleshly bodies. The brothers made another point about us having new bodies in the heavens, and he scoffed at that, when it's clearly written that we have new bodies waiting in multiple places in the scriptures. So it just shows you that these pagan Christians, they don't actually believe in the word, man. You see that? They don't believe in the entire record or the entire layout of what the Most High has in the Bible, man. You see that? Yep. They want to pick and choose viewpoints and try to form it around their Christian dogma, man, which is based in unbelief, wickedness, and rebellion. Point blank period. Can we read that all one more time, Shabbat?
So Psalm 82 and verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes.
And that's what we do. We die like the heathen, man, because of this sinful condition that we're in. And the remnant, the hopeful elect, which we're hoping to be. We're in the mode of what? Calling to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai to heal us and take us out of this condition. This is why what Malachi is it Malachi? Yeah, Malachi chapter 4 tells us that the Son of Righteousness is gonna arise upon us with healing in his wings. Healing us from what? From this condition that we're in as we're in this body, man. You see that? As he brings us back into the fullness of Godhood. We are God's, man. You see? Not in the sense that we're on the level of the Almighty, not even in the sense that we're on the level with Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You see? We're just lesser gods. You see that? And this is what Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai has made us to be, and this is what we're being returned back into the fullness of. You got that in Wisdom Solomon or not? If you don't got it, I can find it real quick.
See, I think 14 and 17 or 2 and 23.
2 and 23.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. For God created man to be immortal.
God created man to be immortal. What man did the Most High create to be immortal?
Israelite man.
The Israelites. That's why we're known as a what? A world without end. You see?
No finish.
You know what I'm saying? And when you go even into those epistles of the Apostle Paul, he tells us that what? We're a world without end. We have the victory over death through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Meaning what? We won't die again, man. The Israelite man, the Son of God, is the one who has been made to be immortal. Not the actual heathen, but the children of the Most High. That's what it was supposed to be, going all the way back to the time of Adam. But Adam what? He fell because of the flesh, listening to the woman. And that began the clock of that cycle of death that we've been wrapped up in from that time up until now. But with the second Adam coming, Yahweh Shai, he's gonna what? He's gonna break that cycle of death for us. Let's get into 1 Corinthians 15. You got it, man.
Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
So the Most High made us to be immortal in an image of his own eternity. You see that? That's what we're known as an everlasting nation. That's why when you read about the second covenant, it tells us that we're never going to die again. You see that? When you jump to the book of Revelation, it talks about what? There should be no more pain, death, sorrow, suffering for who? The children of Israel, man, the sons of God. You see that? Because we're being upgraded to the final form. We're being returned back to who we were with Yahweh Shai in the beginning as the Elohim, man. Which he scoffed at that. You see, the deep mysteries of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai hasn't been revealed to you ordinary mortals, man. The Apostle Paul tells us that. But it's been revealed to us here in these last times. Being revealed to who? The saints. That's why we see it clearly, man. Because we're that lineage the Most High has promised. You see, he made these promises to. We're of that lineage who the Most High made an oath upon himself that he will uphold and keep. The lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Israelites. That's why we get it the way we do it. Not only being an Israelite, but being an Israelite that has been brought into the light, man. What's up?
Got a quick precept, but I also have an overview from AI. It says, in the King James Version of the Bible, the phrase sons of God refers to different groups depending on the context, which we know that goes off because it's the same group.
Yep.
It is primarily used to describe angels, the righteous descendants of Seth.
Woo-woo. The righteous descendants of Seth. And Abraham falls in that lineage. You see? Then it goes from who? Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. Going all the way back to Seth, man. You see that? You got it?
Got a little bit more. It says, and the New Testament believers whom have been adopted into God's family through faith in Mashiach.
And when you go into that word adoption, according to how it's used in the Greek in the New Testament, it goes into weathesia, man. Weathesia means what? That relationship which the Most High was well pleased to establish between himself and the Israelites above all other nations, man. Go look up the word for adoption in the Greek, in the blue letter, man. That was a relationship established between the Most High and His people, as He builds us up to bring us back into immortality, making us gods again, man. You got it, bro.
So, scripture I got right now is Romans chapter 8, and I'm going to start at verse 10 and read down. It says, "And if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. But if the spirit of him that raised up Yahushua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you."
And that's what's being done. That's what you're witnessing right now. We're being quickened in the spirit by the same one that raised Yahweh from the dead. This is a part of the Most High's grace working in us, man. You see that? And if He allows us to continue in His grace, continue in His mercy, it's going to lead up to us being what? Brought into immortality right along with Yahweh completing the process, you see, of returning back to being returning back to being the sons of God in the fullness of it. This is what's going on right now. This is what the Most High is doing with His remnant elect. This is a high level thing that's going on, man. These are high level things that we're speaking and saying and you know, bring it to pass because of the words that we speak. Immortality is coming. That is going to be that's a true principle. This is the condition that all Israel will be brought into when it's all said and done, man. Never dying again. Because we will never sin again. Why? Because the Most High is going to bring us into the fullness of the second covenant. Well, we're going to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments in perfection in those new bodies. Being what? God's. Only knowing righteousness. You see that? Only doing righteousness. And it's going to be effortless. First nature. You see this? What you got?
Going on, it says Romans 8 and 12. "Therefore, brethren, we are debtors, not to the flesh, to live after the flesh."
Meaning what? We ain't debtors to live after the flesh, going along with the world, man. As you see the majority of our people here in Babylon the Great are doing. They're completely going in the flesh, which is going to be to their own detriment because what? Being fully going in the flesh is going to lead you to take that MOTV. That's where the fuck is going. You see? You got it?
It says, verse 13. Did I read all of 12?
Ready to go?
Let me read it again. It says Romans 8 and 12. "Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh." Verse 13. "For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die."
If you live after the flesh, you shall die. Meaning what? Just doing whatever you want to do. Fulfilling the lust of the flesh, man. You see that? Not walking in the spirit. If you're moving in that, and what can we look at to give us an example of what not to be? How our people move in the world, man. Go and look at the rebel of the house of Israel all throughout America. Eating whatever they want to eat. Worshiping whatever they want to worship. Believing whatever they want to believe. Committing all manner of abominable acts and then justifying. You see, justifying wickedness, upholding wickedness, exalting wickedness. You see that? The street code and black culture and brown culture and Native American culture. These are ways that's going to lead to death, man. See, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, He's called us out of that through His Son Yahushua for us to do what? Walk in the old paths, wherein is the good way. What we say what? So we can have rest for our souls. Our spirits are at rest, man. You see? Because we're following the Most High's protocol to the best of our ability. And as we're on this journey, which is going to get even rougher as we get closer to the end, we know this. We've accepted that fact. You see? Just like Yahushua had to accept them. But when it's all said and done, man, what we're being brought into is back into godhood, man. You see that? All through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. What's up, bro?
It says, finishing off verse 13. "But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live."
Meaning what? You what did Apostle Paul say? Put himself in subjection under himself. Meaning what? Having control over his mortal members to not do the things that are not pleasing to the Most High. You see that? Refraining from the lust of the flesh to the best of our ability. We ain't just out here living brute beast lives, man. You see that? Like we always say, our life revolves around the fearing Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh and being pleasing in His sight. Having faith in Yahweh, which comes with a standard that you have to walk in. You see that? Have to exercise the fruits of the Spirit. You see that? That's us walking in the Spirit, man. Yes, Mo?
God. It says, Romans 8 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
For as many as are led by the Spirit of power of God, right? They are the sons of God.
As many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High. And like Yahweh said, you're going to know them by their fruit. You're going to be able to tell the sons of God if you have the Spirit to see it. By what? By them amending their ways, becoming a new creature, being on the highways and byways, preaching His word, and then preaching the truth with all integrity, man. You see that? You got it.
Verse 15. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father.
Once again, going back to our word adoption, man. Through Yahweh's sacrifice, we have been returned back to the Almighty Father Yahweh. You see that? To walk in a way that's pleasing in His sight. As we're on this journey back into our godhood, man. You see? Is that it enough? What you got, Shabbat?
Con, you want me to grab that 1 Corinthians 15?
Con, we can.
Con, this is 1 Corinthians 15. And the brother had touched on the quickening spirit, so I'm going to grab this real quick. 1 Corinthians 15 and 45, it says, and so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
So the first man Adam was made a living soul, meaning what? He had the breath of life breathed into him. That was Yahweh in his first incarnation on the earth as Adam. The first man to receive of the Holy Spirit. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. You see that? That made him a living soul. Going to what it says about the valley of the dry bones. He had the breath, the sinews, and the Most High breathed what? The breath of life into him. Now the second part of that quickening spirit, that's Yahweh's final incarnation. That's why He's known as what? The Alpha and Omega.
God.
The beginning and the end. You see? He was the beginning of our downfall into this cycle of death. And He's the end of the cycle of death for us, man. That's why He's known as what? That quickening spirit. Man, He's making us truly alive. And it's beginning here in the spirit right now. And then the process is going to be what? Fulfilled once we're fully purged through this time of tribulation. And Yahweh comes to take our spirits up out of this body to put them in those new bodies. You see that? That's going to be Yahweh completing the process. You see that?
Yep. So, jumping down to 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
We shall not all sleep, meaning what? We're not all going to die, but some of us will be martyrs. But when it's all said and done, we're all going to be changed. That's why it says, what? Even from the least to the greatest, all thy people shall be righteous, man. Every Israelite is going to be changed over the process of time. You see that? But it begins with the elect. So the 144,000 and the great multitude is going to be taken up into that chariot with Yahweh. And as we begin the process of having sex with our wives, so they can conceive the spirits of the 2/3, that's going to be the process of what? Every Israelite never dying again. Every Israelite being brought into godhood. You see, but they're going to have to know it. The rebels of the house of Israel is going to have to know it after what? After death by pain, man. They're going to have to suffer their judgment because what? They didn't accept the sacrifice of Yahweh. So now they have their own blood has to cover their sins. You see that? They have to pay for their wickedness with their own life, man. Yeah.
Verse 1 Corinthians 15:52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye.
The blink of an eye. As quick as you can blink, That's how fast it's gonna happen. Woo! That's gonna be crazy.
I know.
Imagine how it's gonna sound, how it's gonna feel. How just having your spirit separated from this wicked mortal flesh. And this is why we go into this understanding so much, because this is key. This is key, man. Because if you have this understanding, you're firmly rooted in it. Once Esau comes with that threat of death, as we know he's going to do, as he comes out with great wrath, as he brings forth his MOTV system, when they threaten us with death, it's not going to face us, because what? We know we have an everlasting tabernacle in the heavens. We know we have immortality coming. All you Israelites who don't believe in immortality, you're doing yourself a disservice, man. Because you can't be firmly rooted in the truth without accepting that portion of the truth. You see that? Because when Esau comes back, if you don't take this device, we're going to kill you. Because you don't accept the portion of the truth that goes into immortality in the new bodies, what are you going to do? You're going to fold. Because you don't see nothing beyond this. You see that? Yeah. You don't understand the everlasting. You don't understand us returning back to being gods. And you see it with a lot of camps that know they're Israelites. They're talking about being gods and talking about immortal bodies and all that witchcraft and fairy tale myths, man. You see that? But for all you Israelites who are not rooted in that understanding, when these floods descend upon you, as we know they're going to happen, as it's going to happen, the troops Esau rolling, when they threaten you with death, what are you going to do? You're going to fold up under the pressure. Because you don't believe in the new bodies. You don't believe in immortality. These are key concepts of the truth, man. You see that?
Yep.
This is the ammunition, the spiritual ammunition that we receive to what? Fight against what Esau is coming with. It's giving us a type of boldness, because I'm gonna kill you. Well, all right, cool. Then I got a body waiting for me anyway. And did not the seven brothers, or they were in that same spirit, were they not?
Yeah.
They were ready. They were ready to lay it all down, because what? They believed in the resurrection, man.
And they knew the truth.
That's it.
Right along with even their mom.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and another thing I want to touch on is this: as we go, our bodies get changed in that twinkling of an eye. This is going into literally as we go up into that chariot. You know, when Matthew 24, 30 and 31, Yahweh and the angels are gathering the elect.
Revelation 11 come up hither.
Yep.
That's going right into it. These Christians don't believe in that, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You heard vocab in there. When the brothers was bringing up the immortality and us being gods, they were scoffing and laughing. But they claim to believe in the Bible when it's right there in your face. You see that? And they couldn't give you a solid answer if it was true or not.
The Christians, if you try to share what we're talking about right now with them, they're going to tell you that you're bugged out. Like, oh man, what do you mean? Those are aliens. Those are UFOs. Those things that would have nothing to do with the truth.
Yeah.
Well, we know what it is. We know that those, literally as we go up, this is when that change is going to occur. We're going to get them new bodies as we're getting, like the world says, abducted into the UFO. But we're actually going to be we see this is salvation, what we're reading right here. This is true salvation, which a pagan Christian, vocab alone, they couldn't break down or explain and tell you what actual salvation is. Okay, because when we go into that word salvation, it means the deliverance from the molestation of your enemies. So what's the better way to get away from your enemies than to be taken up in a chariot, as your body is changed in a twinkling of an eye.
As those missiles are coming down to destroy our enemies.
Sometimes, man, I be like, damn. Because it tells us that the righteous will be scarcely saved. The most I can have it to where that motherfucker right. You ever had something like when something's like real close to your face, you can feel it, like outside of your hand. When somebody put their hand, you can like feel the presence of that shit like on your face. It could be like that with the missile. It could be like right there, and as soon as it comes out, you believe until the end. As soon as it get right here, Yahweh shall pull your spirit up out of the body, go into the chariot.
And like that
That's the type of
shit
shit that's gonna be happening. What's up?
Like that dream I had a long time ago that, I was in that apartment complex.
Yeah.
And I seen that wave coming, and I ran, and I hid inside the closet, And when I came out, all that water had flooded everything out, and I was just trying to swim. Next thing I know, someone reached out their arm and told me to get in the back. It looked like the back of a car. And they pulled me out from that water and put me in the trunk. And then when I got out of the trunk, we were looking at everything that was destroyed.
Oh shit. Hey man, well, the Trump chariot. I mean, hey man, this is the faith.
Like, when have you ever seen, like, bro, come on.
Hey man, this is what it is, man.
The brother had mentioned scarce, the righteous shall be scarcely saved. When you go into that word scarcely, it means in the nick of time, at the last moment, So yeah.
Buzzer.
So we're gonna, we've spoken on it in the past where, when this destruction, you get those emergency texts on your phone. Russia has just sent an ICBM to Denver, Colorado, because that's where we are. You looking at your phone like, you start thinking about salvation. But hey, you might, like if it's at the last moment, you be waiting till literally the last moment. You might be questioning, doubting, man, am I part of the elect? Am I not going to go up,
Hey, being that mobile praying to your house shop, please, Baba Shah, save me up out of here, Baba. That's what we're going. That's the mode we're going to be in. Praying to the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the word pray means to beg. So we're literally going to be begging to Yahweh Hashem Yoshai to take us up into that chariot. While the indignation pass over, hide yourself. But yeah, I'm reading on 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. It says, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Must, meaning what? It must happen, man. It's got to happen. We have to what? Shed this corruptible to be brought into incorruption. That's how we're going into the chariot and ultimately into the kingdom of heaven in a state of incorruption, in a state of perfection.
State of immortal.
Immortal. Because what? We're going to be brought into the fullness of the second covenant. We're never going to die again because we're going to be perfect in the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what the second covenant entails, man.
See, Christians, they don't understand this, Vocab Malone, this is why he scoffs.
Okay.
It says in verse 54, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality.
The mortal, us in this condition that we're in now, is going to put on immortality, the condition to come, then shall be brought to pass the what? The saying
that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?
And death will have no more power over the house of Israel, but it begins with the elect. Death doesn't have power over the elect because of Yahweh Shai, man. You see that now, but for those who are not covered under Yahweh Shai's blood, death is going to have the power over them one more time.
Yep.
You see, they're going to have to die to death one more time, and then they're going to be brought into that everlasting righteous kingdom, condition, as they're reborn into the kingdom of heaven in the fullness of the second covenant made possible by Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, you see.
Yep.
That's what it's going to be.
And
as we're about to what? Godhood, man.
Immortality.
Immortality.
And the thing is another reason why these pagan Christians scoff at this is because we're telling them this is not for everybody, because this is only for the first time, like the brother just mentioned, it's only for the elect. And then, like he said, the rest of Israel, the 2/3, they're going to get those immortal bodies, but like he said, not till they're brought back into the kingdom. They're going to have to die on this side first.
Man.
And basically, what else was I got? I had another point. But let me finish this off, and then I got one more precept to grab that I was holding before this. It says, the sting, this is verse 56, the sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to the Most High, which give us the victory through our Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So, and that's what it was. The point I was going to make, these heathen, they're never going to have the immortal bodies, We're never going to have these immortal bodies. That's only reserved for the Israelites. That's a promise reserved to the Israelites. Only. This is Matthew 16, and okay, yeah, this is it. Matthew 16, in verse 27. It says, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works." This is Yahushua speaking. "Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste death."
So say what? We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Not every member of the elect is going to die, but we know that some brothers have been ordained to be martyrs on behalf of this truth, man. See, well, not every Israelite is going to die. Okay?
"Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." So, like we always tell you, there's going to be brothers, yeah, there's going to be martyrs, but that's going to be precious, right? It's going to be a rare thing. The majority of the 144K, if they're not already asleep, they're going to go up in those chariots. It tells you precious is the death of his saints.
Going from the comment board, the brother Amon Dah, Shalom Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. This is John chapter 6, verse 63. "It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I spake unto you, they are spirit and they are life." And basically going with it, man, you see why a lot of these two-thirds and these scoffers, and look at vocab alone, they can't get it, they can't understand it because the spirit is not with them.
So the spirit quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing, because the spirit, walking in the spirit, is what's going to truly bring us into life. Walking fully in the flesh is what's going to lead to death, man. You see that? Walking in the spirit is what? Us walking in obedience. Walking in the flesh is walking in disobedience and basically displeasing to the Most High, man, which is going to lead to judgment coming. What's up?
I was going to say, walking in the spirit, you're walking by faith, not by sight. Something that a lot of Israel don't have is faith. True faith. Faith from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to believe everything that is written.
And that's why you see them talking about ain't no chariots, ain't no miracles. Hey, being saved out of nuclear destruction, that's a miracle. Not only being saved out of nuclear destruction, but saved out of nuclear destruction to be brought into a state of immortality, that's a miracle, man. You see that? So you guys, you can't get it because what? You're engulfed in the flesh. That's why it sounds foreign to you. It sounds weird to you. That's why you snicker and
the
giggle.
strangeness of their salvation.
Exactly.
It's a strange thing because, like the brother said, going up in what you call a spaceship or a UFO, that's a strange thing to the common man. But to the elect, we know what it is.
I got one right away, Baba Shah. This is Matthew 4:4. This is what Yahweh Shah was saying to Satan right here. It says, "But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of power." That is life. These words that are written down, this is for us to take notes and look back on all the accounts of our righteous forefathers and take heed, because this is the way that leads to life, man. Faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Outside of this is death.
Walking the path that we're walking is what's going to lead to true immortality. Not this shit that we see the elite doing with this new world order they're trying to bring online by merging man and machine. They believe that that's how they're going to obtain immortality. But the scriptures, the most highest way, tell you that there's only one way. You see that? To enter into immortality. And first and foremost, you have to be a part of that lineage that immortality has been promised to you. You see, you can only obtain immortality by being an Israelite. No nation has access to that type of power from the Most High outside of Israel, man. You see?
And I was going to say, you know, we started out talking about how we're gods. So when we just read that, you know, there will be some here standing that shall not taste death. That sounds godly to me, you know.
You never die.
You never die. You're immortal. That's godlike, you know. Just real quick, this is Isaiah 26 and 20, just going more in onto the, you know, going up the actually true salvation, being saved like these Christians like to run around saying they're saved already. But this is also another part of actual salvation according to the scriptures. Isaiah 26 and 20, it says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it fit were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." So going up into that the chamber of that, you ignorantly call a UFO, into the chariot. We're going to be hidden, protected, while that destruction is happening. You know? And that's all the indignation, that righteous judgment that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to put on planet Earth, while the elect are safely, you know, like it says here, being hid in the chambers inside in that chariot, watching the destruction, you know, from the chariot.
In a state of godhood.
God, because our body would have been changed by the time we're in that, hiding in that chamber of the chariot.
As we're watching America burn, we're going to be watching it burn as gods, man.
God.
You see that? And then when Revelation 21 talks about New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven, you see, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband, that's the elect descending out of their chariot in a state of godhood. To do what? To take over the planet Earth in righteousness. To establish the Most High's kingdom once and for all, man, of theocracy. Well, we're going to rule in it and complete another righteousness as gods. That's what it is, man. What's up?
I was just thinking of like the miracles, bro. Come on, bro. The miracles that Yahweh was doing, that's godlike power, bro. The miracles that the ancient prophets were doing, ain't nobody else could do those types of miracles without Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
It's even a miracle that we have this understanding. You know, after everything that throughout the generations that our people have been through, all the money and work that Esau tried to do to hide the truth, you know, that's a miracle that we have this understanding. And what was that miracle satisfied with by Yahweh Shai going up on that cross? You know, being the one worthy to loosen them seals and for us to have this understanding, you know.
Isaiah chapter 60. It's Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is risen upon thee." And what's part of the glory, man? Part of the glory is having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and being able to walk in faith, man. Knowing and understanding that, hey, soon we're going to see those miracles that those ancient prophets were doing, man. Those miracles that Yahushua was doing, and greater miracles, man. That's part of the glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Come on, man. It says, verse 2, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee."
And that's happening now. With us having this wisdom, understanding, with us moving the way we move in the spirit, that's the Most High's glory being seen upon us, man. And it's going to be manifest. It's going to be made manifest more and more as we get closer and closer to the end. You see that? And it's going to be no denying it in that time. Then shall be known who are my chosen. You see that? This is where it's going. This is all the process. This is all a process of us turning back to our original state as the sons of God, man. You see that?
I'm going from the common board. It's Isaiah chapter 60, verse 21. It says, "Thy people shall be all righteous,
Yep.
they shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified.
Now, how is the Most High going to fulfill that? What does it mean by all our people is going to be all righteous? And this proves that we ain't up under the second covenant yet.
Yep.
Because all Israel is not all righteous. You got niggas out here right now committing adultery with somebody's woman right now. You got niggas out here, you know what money it is.
Yeah, bro.
You already know what's going on with Jake and his money. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be doing that if it was already put in the second covenant. The prophecy says that all Israel is going to be all righteous, man. That hasn't happened yet. Because we haven't come into that God mode yet, man. You see? We're there, you know, in the spirit, but physically we haven't been, what, upgraded yet, man. What's up, man?
I was gonna say, bro, like when we're all righteous, that means we're not gonna sin no more. We still in this mortal body, man.
You know, flesh.
We still fall. But the one Shai that we're able to continue to get back up and repent and keep it pushing. But you got, like you said, you got these so-called Christians talking about we in the second covenant, come as you is. He died for your sin, just keep sinning. Come on, man.
Show you they don't understand what the second covenant entails. We're going to get it real quick, yo.
But
Jeremiah 31 and 31. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
So once I make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, all 12 tribes. Nowhere in here does it say anything about the heathen being involved in this. Even the Apostle Paul solidifies that in the book of Romans 9. Tell me who the covenant is, the old and the new covenant is for. The Israelites, man.
yeah, bro, I didn't hear Esau up in there.
Because this everlasting covenant wasn't promised to Esau and his descendants. It was promised to Jacob and his descendants, going back to a promise in the oath the Most High made with our forefather Abraham. You see that? It never applied to all nations, man. That's some bullshit that you pagan Roman Catholic Christians have propagated in the earth, man. And it's not true. Okay.
Verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
So the Most High will make the same type of covenant he made with us as he took us out of Egypt. Why is that? Okay.
Which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them,
So how do we break that first covenant?
saith Yahweh.
And he says what? He regarded what?
But this shall be the
No. So the reason we broke that first covenant is because we're in this body, man. We're in this flesh. This is why we need to be upgraded. You got all Jake everywhere thinking that the bag is the end all be all, man, and they're destroying themselves for it. And it doesn't matter how much motherfucking money you get, as long as you are in this body, you will never be satisfied. You see, you will never be okay. Our problem as a people, you see, is far beyond money, man. It's far beyond the worldly possessions. We need to be physically changed. And this is the process that the Most High is taking us through by way of Yahweh Shai, man. You see that? Our minds are being changed, meaning what, we're in a state of repentance. And when it's all said and done, this corruptible is going to put on that incorruptible. You see? Gods.
verse 33. It says, But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people.
So just like it tells us in Romans chapter 8, how the Most High made us subject to vanity, what he's about to do now through Yahweh Shai, he's about to make us subject to righteousness. You see that? Where he's going to program it in our spirit for us to only do right forevermore, man. That's what it means by him being in us. He's going to write it in us. He's going to put it in us. You see that? That's what's going down. And it tells us in the book of Ezekiel that what? We're going to walk in his laws, statutes, and commandments and do them. There ain't going to be no option. You see? That's a cut to the 1948.
Yep.
Because they're not walking in the fullness of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. They're not opposed to it.
That's a fatality to them, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Then the prophecy is clear. When that time comes for the Israelites to be returned back to their land in the fullness of it, they're going to be returned back in the fullness of the second covenant. The law, statutes, and commandments in us, and we're going to do them in perfection, man. It's going to be as normal as breathing. How the Most High how he's about to set us up. And once we're brought into the fullness of that, we'll never die again. Immortality, man.
And the brother threw one up right away. It's a heavy hitter. Wisdom of Solomon 1:15. It says, "For righteousness is immortal."
Uh-huh.
You know, so if you out here in wickedness, you're immortal, man. You die. That's what the 48ers are doing. Dying, struggling to stay alive, drinking blood, doing weird sacrifices to stay alive.
Eating children.
Time.
All type of shit. We ain't got to do all that, man. All we've been told to do is believe in Yahweh Shai and become new creatures. And that entails everything that we always go into. Exercising the fruits of the Spirit, being obedient to the Most High's will, taking it to the point of death. That's what we got to do. You see that? And we do it all in faith and fear. This is what's going to lead us to immortality. Not the shit that the wicked leaders doing. You see that? That's about to lead to their demise and their judgment. See, for us, it's going to lead us, for us to walk in what the Most High has given us, it's going to lead us, what? To perfection, man. You see that? And this is the only way it can be obtained. I mean, you can obtain it another way as an Israelite, but we ain't trying to go. We ain't trying to go that way.
Nope.
We ain't trying to go that way. We would rather suffer. You see, the straight things to enter into the broad. You see that? Instead of suffering the straight things and not even seeing the broad, like the 2/3 and the rest of the house, the rebels of the house of Israel are going to do. We would rather do it the way Yahweh Shai did it. You see, and enter with him through the straight gate, man. Because there really is no other way for Israelites. You see that? There is no other way, man. This is what's going to lead us back to the fullness of us being gods, and our enemies hate to see it, man. You see? This is why vocab Malone is fucking globetrotting. You see? Still talking about the damn virgin birth, man. When we've already disproved that according to what's written in the Bible. You see? And that's because what? Their heart is not set upon immortality. The heart of the pagan Roman Catholic Christian is set upon the things of the world, man. Like, what does it tell us in Wisdom Psalm chapter 3? Their heart should be set upon what? Immortality. That's where our heart is, man. And that's what's going to be done. What you got to do?
That was it.
That was it on that. Yeah, keep going up. Yeah.
So this is Jeremiah 31, and 33. I'm sorry, 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor,
Come on, man.
and every man his brother.
What are we doing now?
Teaching.
Teaching. How can we be up under the same covenant if we still teaching? That's a contradiction of prophecy. We're under the second covenant, but we still have to teach Jake what the name of the Most High is. What the name of Yahweh Shai is. We still have to teach them that they're Israelites. That America's Babylon the Great. We don't have to do any of this if we are already under the second covenant. Okay.
You still got Israelites falling out the truth.
Crazy.
You know? You got Israelites getting kicked out the truth, getting spewed out the mouth right now.
Yeah.
You want to say we're in the second covenant. And every man, and weren't they with Genesis, weren't they the ones saying that we're already in the second covenant?
I can't remember. Man.
I think they were teaching that for
I
a
don't know.
while.
I don't know. I
Them
don't,
dudes go off on pretty much
I don't remember them saying that, so I ain't gonna put that out
Yeah.
there. But, you know, it don't even matter.
time. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh.
Well, since you brought up Genesis, they're a perfect example of us not being in the second covenant. They talk about the name of Yahweh ain't the real name, the name of Yahweh Shai ain't the real name. If we was under the second covenant, they would know these things. And they wouldn't be moved from it. It would be in them to walk in that understanding in the fullness of it. The least and the greatest of Israel, that's what we're being brought into. Because what the entire nation is coming back into a state of being God's again, man. You got it.
It says, verse 34, continuing on. From the least,
Salaki, bro. As you say right there, the least for the greatest should know who Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is, right?
yeah,
Right now, the majority of our people don't even know they're Israelites.
Exactly.
he's still hiding his face from 2/3 of our people.
They don't even know who Esau is. Go
They
ahead,
don't
brother.
even think they have enemies. Huh?
Yeah, it's just my Esau is jacking and shit. No, man. That will be a common understanding of who is over in the second covenant.
Huh?
I mean, once again, we would have to be doing videos every day of on the highways and byways every week if we were already in the second covenant. Once we come into the fullness of the second covenant, we won't even be in captivity no more.
Nope.
Like, bro, what do you niggas talking about? We under the second covenant in captivity. Gotta go to work tomorrow.
Part of being the second covenant is having what? The blessings. Being the head, not the tail.
Well,
Or even us having to use these Bible apps in the Bible to, pull the scriptures. We would be able to just,
yo,
go in the second covenant.
yo, it's gonna be a part of our nature, man.
We're in this flesh. Even the elders, they speak on it how they want a precept, and they've been teaching for years, and they know all the precepts. But every now and then, you have to oh man, you got to look it up. You got to Google sometimes.
Try to remember the words and all.
Sometimes you got to remember the phrase, how it's worded.
How it worded. Yeah.
So if we were in the second covenant, it just said it's in our inward parts, meaning we're not going to be holding the scripture in our hand. It's going to be in us, natural, first nature coming out. That's going to be crazy.
That's good.
Verse 34. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
See that? And that's for the entire house of Israel, man. We get with the elect. That's not a condition that we're in yet, because we haven't come into the fullness of being God, man. You see, this is a process we're going through to enter into that condition. But right now, we're just still in this mortal body, waiting for Yahweh Shai to come and change us, man. As His promise He will do.
I got two off the common words, brother, on over the dog. Put up John chapter 3, verse 36. He that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of power abideth on him. And that's basically it, man. All these non-believing, believing so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, all they got looking forward to is the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man.
That's it.
They're marked.
That's it.
Every single one of them. Doesn't matter how many times they try to repent, they marked.
Trying to side with vocab alone.
Yup. Trying to walk hand in hand with the enemy.
Losing.
Trying to include all the nations into the salvation. All of them are marked for destruction. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua knows who each and every single one of them are. He knows the number of our the hairs on our heads, man. So how is he not going to know who the 2/3 are? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 15, it says, "But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High." There's your part, man. righteous are going to live forevermore. Meaning, as the brother was bringing out in First Corinthians 15, hey, even if we have to be put to death for this truth, those men that get put to death for this truth are the first ones that are going to be transformed into those new celestial bodies, man.
That's it.
They're not even dead. They're just going to be resting, man. Chilling, waiting for those bodies.
First.
So let's start bringing our clothes to man. We'll wrap it up.
I got Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of power and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
That's it. You see that? And that's what's happening now. The Most High put us on this path, you see, following after Yahweh's example, and it's bringing us into life more and more each and every day. We're becoming more and more alive each and every day, man, as this old man perishes daily. And once we're coming to a time of great refinement, and once that thing is done, man, it tells us that we're gonna shine. We're gonna shine. What does it say? We're gonna shine like sparks among the stubble. You know what I'm saying? But we're being brought back into being gods, man. And we see it fully because the Most High revealed His secret unto His servants and prophets, man. The Most High has told us who we truly are, and it's not according to what the world has portrayed us to be. We're on a way higher level than anything this world has told us, man. You see? And the Almighty He's let us know what it is. We are gods, man.
That's why in Psalm 83 it calls us the hidden ones, because they hid that from us. You know, the fact that we are gods.
We're gods.
They never wanted us to know that.
Yeah, how about Shimmy Shai is allowing us to tap into that celestial IQ, man.
That's it. That's it.
And that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is putting to shame all the understanding of man. Says Baruch 4:2, turn thee, O Jacob, and take heed of it, walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
We're illuminated. We are illuminated, man. We have the light. Just give me the light. Yeah. Shut up, all. Some niggas are lame. Just give me the light. And we got the light, man. We got the light, and the world is seeing it. They're trying to dim it. Vocab is he ain't got the same strength he had 5-10 years ago, man. They still trying to hinder, but guess what? We're just growing more and more powerful through what Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is doing with us, man. You see that? It can't be stopped. Because it's not a man. We ain't doing this of our own, man. The Father in the heavens, working through His Son Yahweh Shai by way of the Holy Spirit, is doing this all through us. That's why I says what? The working of the Most High's hands, that He may be glorified. That's what's going down, man. And the world is about to understand that all that we've told them is what's true. You see, just the reality of it, man. What's up?
This is the brother put this up, John 1 and verse 11. He came unto His own, and His own received Him not. Verse 12. But as many as received Him, to them gave He power to become the sons of power, even to them that believe on His name.
Yeah.
That's what they thought.
So He's given us what? The power to become the sons of God through faith in Yahweh Shai. Immortals, man. You see, the Alahayim. Just as it was in the beginning. This is what the Bible is talking about. It's deeper than John 3:16. Now, John 3:16 is deep when you go into the true concept of it. But how the pagan Roman Catholics are trying to use it, it's more to this Bible than that, man. It's like they have this book, and they're so unskilled in it. It's like watching a baby trying to use nunchucks, man. You know what I'm saying? And you give nunchucks to a master, and he's what? Fluent with it. You see, he make it look effortless. You see? All the years you Christians have had this Bible in your possession, you still haven't mastered it yet, man. You still don't understand what's going on. Because it was there before you. The Most High didn't reveal these things unto you, man.
He's revealed his word unto Jacob.
Exactly. He revealed it to his saints here in these last times, man. That's it. What you got?
You want to read that last part of that verse you just read about the shop? You still have it. It says, it kind of goes into that.
To them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name.
Time. So this is John 8:30.
To them that believe on his name.
Time.
Believe on his name. Surely that we have to have the name.
Yep.
You got it.
This is John 8:30, and I was holding this before the brother grabbed that one. This is John 8:30. As he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So that's another thing, is enduring, continuing. You can't take breaks. You can't, think you can hang your garment in the rafters and retire.
The Hebrews are like Hall of Fame and shit.
God.
That was it.
So yeah, but the point being the 32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And that true freedom is right now in the spirit. Yeah, our spirits are free. We're getting to that godhood state.
Our bodies are worn out, man. We're tired. You know what I'm saying?
So
but
wear out the saints.
In the spirit, man. In the spirit, we're fervent. You know what I'm saying? In the spirit, we're lively. You see that? So now we have the what? We have to have the bodies to match our spirit very soon, man. So that's what's being done. We're being brought back into the state of being God's vocab, and all you unbelievers out there. We are the Alahim. You see that? And our course is almost finished, man. And then you're gonna see it with your eyes. All that we've told you it is through the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. What you got, man?
I got John 8, verse 32. It says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Just read it.
Oh, I don't know what happened, bro, but it got stuck in my head, bro. It's like, just listen to you, brothers. I mean, this spirit, this knowledge, the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it gives us peace, brothers. This is the only thing that really sets our minds at ease. Because why? Because we have that vision. This is where there is no vision, the people perish. They don't have the prophecies. That's why they live their life like brute beasts. And that's why they're going to be put to death. And that way they're going to be put to death here in Babylon, man.
And that's why we have that Holy Spirit, that separate spirit among these other people. We're already coming into that God state, compared to these other people. We know the other Israelites are going to eventually get those immortal bodies. But right now, the brothers who are in this ministry, that's the ones that Yahweh Shah was speaking. Those are the ones who are going to, we always have to say that some will die, some of us are going to die, but the majority of the 144K.
It's saying it right here. This is from the brother Amon Badah, 1 Thessalonians 4:17. They which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord.
Come up hither.
Yep. To meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we be with the Lord. Go into what you're saying right there, brother. Like, hey, we here, and even though we're going to be in that climax of Jacob's trouble, we know that we're part of the remnant, and we continue to the end in our faith. Guess what? We're going to be taken up and transformed into those new celestial bodies.
What? To be what again?
Gods.
Come on, man. It's that simple. I was at anything else. So
I got it, one more. Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded,
That's right.
world without end.
And that's what it is, man. This is the process the Most High is taking us through to bring us into that everlasting salvation. The everlasting salvation is what? Us being brought back into the full state of being the sons of God again, man. You see? That's what's happening right now. And the Most High is about to put the world, he's already put the world on notice, now he's about to make it clear. You see? The reality of everything that we're saying is about to be manifest right before the world's eyes, man. Hey, all according to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai's will. And so with that, man, we're going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash.
A double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone for teaching me this truth, teaching us this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And a sincere piece of salutation to all you hopeful that I came out there, pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai has created us to do. With that, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom to the elect.
Hey, shalom to all you brothers on the comment board, to you sisters. Shalom.
Shalom.